Hello, friends. We are back. We have tea. We have pineapple soda. We have uh, we have pics of Dee's amazing blue hair, and we're ready to play some more of this game. Make our rad characters and go to the next step, the meeting place.
I'm going to take off that banner behind me. It's distracting.
It's a good banner though.
I like when you're like, here is Dee.
Yeah.
I got weird people in the background. I couldn't. My workspace is a mess, so let's just cover that up. It's fine. So, the meeting place. If you're using one of the provided story arcs, begin by reading the session prompt for the first gathering before continuing with the questions below. We've already done that. When you're ready, read each of the following questions aloud and answer either individually or as a group. Where is our group gathering? Does the place have a name? What is
Actually,
it?
we are using a story arc.
Ooh.
Hey.
So we should go ahead and introduce that story arc. This story arc was written by Sin.
What?
Which
So
I'm
on my
pretty excited
list,
about.
on my list of things where I'm just like, yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm not going to say anything, not a word. This is one of them.
So this is a story arc for the almanac is going to include 26 places of interest or like spots of things you might want to play around with. Like they're either people or places or special objects. And Sin created The Tale of the Five Strings, which is a story that every culture has some knowledge of. And it tells the story of what may be the first weavers. In the world of mnemonic, weavers are people who can kind of attune themselves to the weave of memory that maps its way across the world and connect to the memories of the world, and so they can do kind of magically things. This is the story of the five strings. In every culture, there are stories shared that inspire courage, share knowledge, and teach wisdom. Among those stories is one about a drought, the five weavers that brought rain to end it, and the wisdom they left for those who would come after them. Some say these stories are our only memories of the first weavers. While the number of weavers varies from story to story, it is more commonly known to many as the Tale of Five Strings, told every year during the harvesting season around friends, family, and a warm campfire. Because we're using the story arc, in this story we imagine ourselves as the weavers in the story. We walk the world in their shoes, finding others who are on the cusp of emerging as weavers like ourselves. And the first gathering puts us in a town. We meet in a town that's been enduring an inexplicable drought for several years. This year promises a harsh winter, and reserves are running low. It's in this situation that you may find your way to your first world memory. Now we can go into the meeting place.
All right. I think the question that had been put out was, where is our group's gathering, and does the place have a name? And I think we know that we are gathering at this place, in this town, that has been in a drought for several years. And do we think that these are sort of long seasonal droughts that happen and that come and go, and that this is a particularly bad one, or is this the first time that's seen a drought? I ask because it might have a name that is sort of like a dust bowl or something like that. If it's used to having, if droughts are common, and it wouldn't probably if this is a unique event.
I think if it was a more seasonal thing, they wouldn't be as desperate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's probably a unique or more unique event.
That makes
I wonder
sense.
if it's like a place that sees droughts periodically, but this is the first time it's been like years since there's been any rain.
I think maybe it's a place that's right next to an area that's been affected before, and this is the first time it's reached them. And it might be the place that's always really nice, and so it could have a name like Paradise, which is usually people name places things like Paradise when they're actually kind of terrible places to live, and they're like, I want people to think it's a nice place, so we'll do it. But it could have some like name that sounds very very pleasant, because this is the first time they've had something so bad happen.
Makes me think of Phoenix and Tucson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, surely one is being born there at those temperatures.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So it's drought adjacent, but hasn't seen one itself in a while. So perhaps it's close to a reservoir, and that reservoir is
Dried up.
yeah.
So maybe
Could
it's
be
like
named
lake
after like a
something.
lake. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't make me name things. You Sean knows what happens when I have to name things.
Pick
It's-
something on your desk and switch it around.
It's
Pretty much.
yeah. Westlake, Blue Lake, Clear Lake.
Riverdale.
Fun fact, if you decide to name it Westlake, there is literally an intersecting street less than a mile from here by that name.
Nice.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean it's not an uncommon name, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I know like a couple of different malls that are Westlake.
yeah.
I'm fine with Westlake.
Let's
Yeah.
go Westlake. That works for me.
Cool.
We've punched way too hard already. Like this is a good
Yeah.
neutral evocation.
Yeah, and so we've gathered in this town. It has the name of Westlake. What has led each of us to this place? Do you use the assumption that we have come here together as a group, or that we've come here individually?
We could come here as a group. I'm quickly scrolling through to make sure that I haven't written anything that explicitly says that we can't. No, we can have come here together.
Do y'all want to be an entire group coming into Westlake?
We
I feel
can
like
be.
we've established these closenesses between our characters, and I want to sort of honor that by saying that they have spent some time together rather than that they're just sort of like meeting each other and we have this sort of artificial closeness. Or perhaps we've gone apart and come back. I mean, there could be reasons for us to be close but not have arrived together, but I like the idea that we've been traveling together for some time.
We've all attuned to one particular bunny on Warren and made sure they're all fed.
Yeah.
I was about to ask the same question. Wow, Jess, well, like we're very
You got it in
similar
my
in the way that
head.
we do this. Like it's like, hey, so like, do all of us become friends with the rabbits and take turns feeding them or things?
Yeah.
And so, yep.
Yeah, that's Chestnut, and he's freaking adorable, and he has a pink nose with a little black spot on it, and when he scrunches his nose and the black spot goes up, he's just the cutest thing on the planet.
You okay? See that rabbit right there, Chestnut? That is Aurora's rabbit. Like that's
Sure.
we don't argue about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's got brown fur, hence his name.
Oh, Chestnut.
That doesn't explain why we're in Westlake, though. What was the What? Gee, sorry. Your game is now about naming bunnies and describing their various attributes.
Next week we're watching Steven Universe. This week we're just talking about bunnies. Got it.
Yeah. What brought us here? Did we come because of the drought? Have we come to address it, or is the drought anecdotal to our travels?
There's a part of me that thinks like maybe we didn't know the drought was gonna be here, and maybe we were coming here as like, let's go to this cool town, Westlake.
Yeah,
They've
we
got-
arrive and it's all dried up.
All the best restaurants. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What
I
is
think-
Westlake known for? Is it its food?
I mean, maybe there's that, and I think maybe also too is, we just wanted to we've been in a town or around a town or wherever we were, just kind of like, we want to take an adventure, we want to take a trip and like stretch our limbs and see what else is like around and just like adventures because
So we took a road trip and we ended up in
our-
Westlake.
Yeah.
Our rabbits are growing babies who need to see more of the world.
Mhm.
Yeah, they need to be homed. They can't. They keep multiplying, and we have to find them new homes because Warren is only so big.
I feel like I feel right, like we came in here thinking that the story was going to be about these characters, but it's really about us trying to like find homes for these rabbits.
But are those rabbits' homes secretly our own?
This was supposed to be a beach episode. Yeah, I like the idea that we came here for an adventure, and maybe like this is a place that has some renown for its the beautiful lake and the swimming and the fishing that happens there, and no one had heard anything about it for a while, and so we kind of came like, let's go see what's going on because like
It's a good place to travel for the summer.
Yeah, it'd be a great.
No
summer
one's talking
vacation.
about going to Westlake. I bet it's super secluded. There's gonna be lots of space.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll have things we can feed your rabbit?
Of course they do. It's Westlake.
If they have grass, we're in good shape. Yeah. Yeah. Warren is
Or
becoming more
sometimes
and
they
more of this.
deserve good better than more than grass. I mean, I'm sure Westlake has good grass, but still, there's got to be a vegetable stew.
We can give them carrots all you like, Aurora.
Carrots aren't actually good for bunnies.
I feel like Warren is the person who grounds me in common sense.
Mouse, we can limit their carrot intake if that's what's
Okay.
best.
You
to
think
them.
they
Could
like
have
a
a
radish?
little carrot as a treat.
Oh, the baby carrots are just real carrots, but shaved down. It's a
We-
lie.
We can cut up the carrots very small. That's fine too.
Have one carrot, cut it up into small pieces.
There's plenty of them to split the carrots among.
Okay, so Westlake carrots are the sweetest carrots,
The
obviously.
sweetest carrots I've heard.
Everybody knows about Westlake carrots.
Westlake carrots are like they're not the standard orange. They're like the super bright purple, super sweet carrot.
Ooh.
Very special.
But we'll make sure they just get little portions so that they don't get sick.
Yes.
Something, maybe the soil that things grow in Westlake, like the vegetables that come out are like sweeter than normal, and that's why people like going here to get things. Now your rabbits are gonna have to worry about eating vegetables and getting cavities.
Oh my god.
No harm will come to these rabbits.
Carrots
Yes.
require an inch of water per week to grow.
Yes, baby
Each
carrots are
individual
just cut down
root?
carrots your whole
Like
life.
they require an inch of rain per week.
Yeah, so that's all. That's
Speaking
all.
of rain, have we seen rain?
Now that you mention it, no.
No, but I mean,
Pretty dry
doesn't-
around here.
it doesn't rain all the time. Who knows? It could
Maybe it
rain
can't.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the rainy season.
Maybe it isn't.
Maybe all the rain is just in Westlake and it just rains over the lake itself. Concentrated. We'll have to wait till we get there.
Like my insides. Got it. But I say that really softly under my breath.
And would be casually braiding their hair at this point.
What is
Casually
something about this
blazing
day
Im's
that
hair,
we will
or-
remember?
Oh yeah. We should keep doing this thing.
Yeah.
Totally. What is something about this day that we remember? I mean, I feel like we sort of spelled it out that we arrive and our expectations are sort of shattered. That we're like, this is going to be a great adventure. Where are all the carrots? And there are no carrots.
So like the carrot
Wait.
festival has been canceled.
Yeah.
What is something we will choose to forget?
I think the other thing that we could remember that day is that there weren't as many people outside as usual either.
Which one of us would have frequented Westlake as a escape or vacation spot? I don't think I've ever been to Westlake.
Mouse has been here.
Yeah, I think she's been here before. I think she likes to get away.
Mouse, do you think you told? Do you think when you came back at some point you told Warren about this place?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think in the conversation where we learned that carrots are sometimes okay for rabbits, but not all the time good for rabbits, the topic of Westlake came up. Like, we should go there. They have a whole festival about it.
Nice.
Something that we'll choose to forget. Well, like what though?
We'll choose to forget.
I think Mouse doesn't want to remember the look that everyone gave her when we got there and there was no festival.
Ouch.
Of like, you said there was going to be a festival. And like, I don't know if everyone actually was thinking this, but I think Mouse was like, it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault. And I think she like physically got smaller
Oh,
when they got there.
Mouse, she internalized the failures.
Put it all on herself. What is something we choose to forget? I think Warren is going to ignore that he's sloughing. He is not, or they are not. They're kind of losing bits of themselves as they dry out.
Oh,
Because in this like dry environment, Warren is now in my mind kind of like somewhere between Eeyore and a dirt golem, right? Like, and so they're like little bits of them just kind of like when they get up, they just like leave dried out bits of dirt behind because they're just drying out. And so they're just sort of like ignoring it because it hasn't been a problem yet. They're just pretending like it's not happening. I don't know if that's really forgetting, but that's they're just not making a big deal of it.
I'm worried now.
Yeah, I'm looking at Warren and I'm just like, I don't.
Is that
How
normal?
do you moisturize yourself?
Oh, sometimes I just sit in the rain for a few days, or go by, just kind of go under by the riverbed. And they sort of like look listfully at where the lake was, but it's all dried up. I'll be fine. And they like take like
As a piece drops off.
Yeah, they take like a canteen of water, and you know the effect of like when you put water on really dry ground, that it just like runs off of them. So they take like a canteen of water and they go to drink it, but like most of it just kind of like like goes across their body, and they don't need to drink, but they do like
Need to hydrate.
They do need to hydrate. Yeah, I think a little piece just sort of falls off, just a little clump.
Someone find this golem a mister, please.
What would I choose to forget? I think I would choose to forget the first person who like makes any comment about why the situation is where this is when we walk into town.
Oh, like there might have been some really useful clue or information, and you forgot.
Like people just kind of like talking like outside casually talking about the situation, watching all of these people walk up and about now all these people are coming into town and we don't have anything to do because of all this other stuff. And I'm like, mostly out of just observing and out of concern for Warren, I have ignored people talking.
Oh yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are like have all these like festivities like signs and banners that they're like taking down because the festival was canceled, and they're just all like grumbling about it. I love the idea that you don't notice all of the stories that they're sharing, or that we miss those.
Okay. Continue.
I think Aurora's gonna choose to forget that Mouse was the one to recommend Westlake. I think it's all just a series of unfortunate events for Aurora. And now now they're just trying to problem solve and like find, going from booth to booth to be like, okay, if not rain, if not lake, water. Where's your backup? What's going on? Where's the reservoir for the reservoir?
Nice. What do you think Amaryllis wants to forget?
I think Amaryllis would forget a story that she had heard about a dragon was in Westlake.
Aurora doesn't believe in dragons because Aurora has never seen a dragon.
I could imagine why some people might blame a dragon for a drought, being creatures of fire and things like that. Do any of us know of this story, or is this a secret, or not well known? Maybe
It's not a story that Amaryllis has told before, but I don't know if it's a secret.
I think being from a town so close to the sun, it's kind of one of those old wives' tales that Aurora grew up with. But what are fairy tales in my mind?
Yeah, I like that idea that it's in your context, you've heard of it as a story like a dragon was here in the same way that like the sun was born or some other sort of mythic kind of event, rather than oh no, actually the dragon's name is Herb and he was
He's very nice.
Right over there.
Cool.
Is it not a story the Jedi would tell you?
I saw that. I was like, maybe.
Sin, will you read choosing a role to play?
I'm torn between two of them at the moment. I like Mender though.
Let's read the thing. The section.
Okay.
Okay.
Although you might fill different roles on different days, each of you has a spot in the group that belongs to you. And although it might remain unsaid, everyone knows it. This is what you're good at, and this is why you're here instead of someone else. Note that although you will record this role in your journal now, the dynamic of your group can shift over time. If your role doesn't fit anymore, you can always change it. There are 6 roles to choose from. Breaker, the one who removes obstacles that are in the way. Defender, the one who protects others from dangers. Healer, the one who binds wounds, physical or otherwise. Mender, the one who reminds people who they are. Scholar, the one who knows things. And Watcher, the one who looks to the shadows or the horizon. Each of you should choose a role now. Your choices do not all have to be different.
Why is everything so evocative? What is this?
It's almost like Dee designed it that way.
How's the song go? I felt he found my rudders and led each one out loud.
Okay, let's see. Sin, you said
I like the idea of being a mender.
okay.
Being a person who reminds people of who they are, which I think is especially cool because they're Fae, which is to say, when you don't have much of a distinction between your normal memories and the world's memories, reminding people of who they are is a really powerful thing.
Very astute, especially when you don't want to talk about yourself.
Maybe, but that's only when I'm sad or angry. We're not going to do that today.
We won't be any of those things all the time.
Anyone else feeling strongly one way or another?
I'm feeling strongly several ways, which is the problem.
I'm kind of feeling healer. I'm kind of feeling defender. Kind of feeling scholar in a really odd way of this notion of like these really intelligent rabbits, and like one of them comes and like whispers something in my ear, and I was like, I heard a story that, and some things that like the rabbits know.
And that's why you don't think you're smart, because you're listening to the rabbits?
Yeah, that feels right.
But really, the
Okay.
rabbits are just telling you what you already knew. I love this.
I don't know. Don't have that
You
self-confidence.
hear rabbits squeaking in your ear, and it sparks a memory that you actually have, but you think it's rabbits talking to you. I love this. Okay, sorry.
Squickety
I
squick,
would say that it does just sound
right.
like rabbits going, like rabbits just sort of making little rabbit noises, which is not much, but Warren can hear them.
Warren is full of menders.
Yes, yeah.
Oh no.
I don't know. I'm leaning either towards healer or breaker. Those are two different roles.
They
Yes.
are pretty different.
All right, I'm going to play against type, and I'm going to go with healer as opposed to breaker or defender.
Emotionally dangerous healer. I love it. Okay. Healer, mender, scholar. I was leaning towards watcher, and I might still be. I'm kind of noodling for a second.
I'm gonna go breaker.
Okay.
So we're moving obstacles out of the way.
Oh yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm.
This should be fun.
Clouds are way over there.
Yeah. Watcher. Final answer.
Cool.
All right. At this point, are we still going through building the scene, or do I have to switch over to the other dock?
We are still going through, but from now on, we'll be in building scenes.
Okay.
Right, it is up.
Okay. So do we want to keep reading from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can read that, or you can go ahead.
Okay. So each player will play out one of each of the following scenes. If you're pressed for time, you can instead play out one scene for each player, rotating through the below outcomes until everyone has had a chance to hold focus. Decide who will go first, either by asking for a volunteer or by rolling a die.
What are
The
our
force-
options here?
Yeah.
So looking at time, it's 9:30 Eastern.
Mhm.
So we've got about an hour.
Mhm.
There's 5 of us.
20 scenes seems like a lot.
This
But-
seems like a lot.
10 might be doable. 5 might be doable. Do you want to just try each do one and then see where we are time wise?
That sounds good to me.
When framing these scenes, is the intent that only one character is in them, or is it just that each player will frame one scene and they'll say who is?
So each player will frame the scene. It's like a scene that's about you using your role's skills to like solve a problem, and then you might need to ask for help, and then other people can be present, but the focus of that scene is on you and your thing.
That makes sense.
So I would like to showcase each of these options, but we don't have to do like an even number of each. So if there's, if we all want to do like accepting a cost, we can do that, or asking for help. We can just like play it out that way.
All right. Should we roll a die to see who goes first?
Great. I'm down with dice
Sure.
rolling. Playing games.
All right, dice it is. So how do we want to do that?
All right.
I don't have anything set up like for Roll20 just yet, but I think if we each have our own D6s handy or something like that, I'm just going for an online one right now.
Oh, okay. So highest roll.
Sure. I
Cool.
rolled and I got a 5.
2.
Also a 2.
5. 5, 5, 5. Misha.
To break this tie.
Hold on. 5.
I'm the only one in D's actual roll 20.
Yeah, sorry, I just pulled up some online roller. Okay, so I think D, Misha, and I all need to roll again.
I rolled a
Or you
1.
could have a scene together.
I rolled a 5 again. What is going on?
I rolled a 4.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Misha, you take it away.
Alrighty. Let's go with accepting a cost. So something happens that requires the intervention of someone with my specific role. How do I intervene? So I'm a healer. And we're walking through the town. There's a person sitting next to the well. They're trying, they've been trying to pull up water. All that's coming up is like just this tiniest little amount. But they're trying to get enough water to fill their canteen, and it's just brackish. And I hand over my canteen to them, and then start trying to pull up the bucket myself while they're drinking from my canteen. In seeking to resolve the situation, things get out of your control. The situation is unraveling before you. No one can help you, or you think no one can help you. Failure is not an option. Someone will get hurt if I don't resolve this, or the situation will only get worse. What went wrong? And yeah, that's where I'm lost now. How do I make this worse?
Do you think that when you've perhaps helped one resident of Westlake, that many others come looking for
Oh.
aid, and your canteen only goes so far.
That could very well be. That is completely logical.
I imagine that as you're the healer, that there are lots of people who will want your
Water.
your aid. Yeah.
Was the person that you were helping one of us? Like one of us was trying to drink water from the well, and you gave one of us your canteen,
Like
and
a
so
certain
everyone who lives here is
diamond.
Oh
Like
yeah,
dusty
I can totally
folk.
see it's like, yeah, or Warren and the noticing when Warren was trying to drink from their canteen and the parchedness and the little bits dropping off, and so
Well, I
trying
can see
to get.
I could see Warren upsetting people as well when, most people think you drink water and Warren's just like, I pour water on me.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
what Warren
What are
does.
you
They don't
doing?
drink.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they hydrate, but from the outsider
Yep.
perspective, that might seem like wasting it. And
Yeah,
it's a precious resource. And they're just like, boop, 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 and water just kind of trickles down them. Yeah.
All right. To find a resolution, I'll take on a cost to myself. I'll lose something or be hurt in some way. Cost can be physical, emotional, or ethical. What cost do I accept to resolve the situation? I'm thinking it's something probably along the lines of, yes, I will go down the well, which I really don't want to do because it's a well, and figure out what, if I can make it deeper somehow so that we can tap the water table even lower.
Sounds like a lot of physical toil.
Yeah. In a small thing.
Cool.
So let's see, what's it gonna cost me?
Yeah.
Let's make this one well deeper. It's probably going to just take time and effort, and I don't know if we have that much time to spend. Doing this.
Perhaps we were all planning to like share a meal together or something else, and like you can't make it.
Yeah.
Because you show up hours later covered in muck and from doing the work. I don't know if missing out on something would be a cost.
Yeah. It's totally FOMO. FOMO is totally a thing.
And Mouse probably takes it personally too. Like she thinks that this is like just like still more like holding it. It's because the festival was canceled. You didn't want to come have dinner.
No, oh poor Mouse. Yeah.
Cool.
How do you
Right.
get cleaned now that you're all dirty?
Yeah, there's no
No
way to
water.
wash off. I mean,
Yeah.
that looks pretty nice to me. And like, I think Warren just sort of like knocks like a tiny bit of like the mud away, like wipes a tiny bit of like mud off of one of your scales and is like, it's good mud. Sort of like pushes it into themselves. Yeah. Does Misha choose the next person to go, or do we just decide?
Yeah, Misha, if you want to.
Or I'm not
Pass
sure if
the
the
turn.
scene's over actually.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah, the scene that feels like the end of the scene. Cincy, let's see what you can do.
Okay, so
Or
what
what
scene?
you choose to do.
Okay, so for any of these three scenes, or are we on a particular one?
Nope,
No,
pick
for
one.
any of these three.
Okay. So I want to do the asking for help scene. And then that scene, I think the situation is going to be me talking to Mouse because I go to look for her and I don't know where she is. At first, she sure was a lot taller before we got here, and now she's not. And are you hiding from someone?
And I think Mouse avoids admitting why she's hiding. And she's like, "No, I'm not hiding. I'm doing this other thing." And she's like she's like sitting on the ground somewhere and like braiding some grass blades together. It's like clearly not doing anything helpful. She's like, "No, I'm busy."
I don't know. You don't look really busy at the moment. Are you sure you're okay? Also, here, this is the other thing too. Do I know Mouse to be a person who regularly just spends a lot of time braiding grass?
I think we've been traveling together, so you know what Mouse is like when she's like avoiding people. And so like it's pretty clear that she's like by herself because she's like processing something.
So kind of like on the one hand, this is one of those moments where I falter because I have a thing I want to say, but I'm not sure how to say it. So the person that I decide to ask for help is Aurora. And, because Aurora is a whole person, I kind of say, Mouse is, well, a lot smaller than normal, and she's braiding grass, and she says she's fine, but I don't think she's fine.
Oh no. No, those are all very, very avoidant. Oh, we were here because of someone's recommendation, weren't we? Do you think there's some guilt happening? Not like she totally doesn't. No, like that's unacceptable. She doesn't deserve it, right? So how do we?
But that's not her fault.
It isn't. But sometimes if we say that it's not, it doesn't help.
Well, you know what? She said that there was a parade happening.
So we take her to it?
Why don't we make one?
Yes. We make the whole parade.
You know what I think we were gonna, I think we, you know what I think we should do? People like to celebrate some things. Maybe. So I know that sometimes you're not supposed to tell like lies and stuff, but I think I might have to lie, but it's for a really good reason.
Tell me more.
So what if we tell people, what if we tell people it's Mouse's birthday?
Yes, and we get free carrots.
I don't know if they have carrots, but maybe if we get people to kind of celebrate her birthday, it's kind of like a parade. That would be cool, I think.
But what if Mouse? Well, wouldn't we have to double lie? Because if Mouse found out that everyone thought it was her birthday and she knew it wasn't her birthday, wouldn't that make her more small?
Okay, well, we can tell them it's my birthday.
I love the idea that there's like a sign that says like Carrot Festival, and someone like you say it, and they're like that like someone puts up like a thing that slaps on the side. It's like Mouse Festival, and then they slap up another thing that says M Festival, right? Like someone's like furiously like changing the name of the festival. They're like slapping new labels on it. It's a little Looney Tunes, but like bear with me. That's where my mind is going.
Duck season, rabbit season, duck season.
Yeah, exactly. People deserve to celebrate something, and it should be something they care about.
You know what? I think I know what we could do, and maybe we don't have to lie. Which I suppose is good because you said lying might make it worse.
Sometimes. Maybe.
Okay, so let's go see if we can find out who is normally in charge of the parade.
Yeah, there's got to be like an event coordinator or maybe even a leader to the Westlake. Yeah, we could find her totally. Either center or highest part of town. That's my guess.
I think there's an old woman who is like sort of walking around town and telling people like to like fold up the signs carefully because we're going to celebrate next year. Don't get mud on those. And she's kind of reminding them all that we still need to keep everything in good shape.
Can her name be Agnes?
She's definitely Agnes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to say we go and we get we find Agnes folding up the signs.
I show up in my most carroty form. Like I change the color
You're
of
very
my gem
orange.
body.
Wait a minute, are you actually like like a mascot carrot at this point?
Yes, I like have slender legs and a big like Dorito bod, and I've changed the
Nice.
color to be like some sort of root, like purpley orange. And I'm like,
I love that
It
your
is I.
shoulder pauldrons are like going to be like hanging up really high, and then there's just like a lot of carrot body sticking out underneath them because
I've
And
come
so-
as the bearing of like symbolism.
And I think Agnes would just look at us like, what on earth is this? And probably address you like you were a person in a costume. It's kind of like, we're not doing the parade. Like, we can't do it. And this
Take
way.
that off.
Yeah, make sure
It's
that
silly.
costume stays clean for next year. It's dusty around here. I think she has a little like a broom that's like a wicker kind of broom, and she like comes and like dusts you, like make sure that it stays that you're that
No,
it stays
I'm not
clean.
dusty. It's fine. It's not a costume. I came to honor Westlake, and I thought this form was the most suitable.
Yeah, you
And-
could definitely get one of those like two fists on each hip, like appraising look of like and like right like what's the plan here? I think Agnes will probably go along with any plan, but what's the?
I think this feels a lot like My Little Pony episode in the making, because it's kind of like, but me being this like like full of like passionate optimism in a clearly hopeless situation. Kind of just like, but Agnes, why are you putting signs away? Making people happy is clearly a thing that you enjoy. So why don't we do that?
Is it just like a cutscene to the three of them like conspiring about how to put on another festival anyway? Like, we'll do this and we'll do that. No.
I think initially it's like Agnes being like, hello, clear reasons. But I'm like, we already have a mascot. And her going, well, we did kind of put a lot of work into it, and it would be a shame not to do it for like another year in a row. And people do kind of need things to be happy about, and me just kind of encouraging her to keep going on that track of thought. And then she gets the least grumbly people she can find.
There's some like cheerful little kids. Wait, we can have our party after all?
And like little kids and like a couple of the rabbits from Warren and everything else. And like we just like walk straight over to where Mouse is, just braiding grass. My question for Mouse is,
Carrots.
when you see this parade of people, including, your very green-haired friend and a large kind of carrot-looking mascot and some of the townspeople, how do you feel about that?
I think Mouse, at first she doesn't believe it. Like she thinks that like she must just be like dissociating. Like I must be dreaming right now. But then she like, oh, I know those people. Is that Aurora? What are they wearing? And so she like gets up, she puts down the braids of grass, and she goes over and stands by the side of the road and just like kind of watches the parade, and she like she feels a little better about being here.
Happy Carrot Day. Because I don't think carrots have birthdays. But also you should be in the parade. Are you gonna come join the parade?
And I think she says, thank you, Em. No, I'm just happy to watch. But thank you.
And then you get a firm nod while like parade is happening and we're going through the town being obscenely loud to make up for the slightly smaller number of people there are. And I think it's one of those things where as the group kind of goes around, people were like originally just kind of not into it and just kind of, well, I mean, I might as well. What else am I gonna do? And then it actually just becomes the parade just becomes an actual thing.
Your sincere enthusiasm and optimism finally wears off and
The
affects
Pied
them.
Piper of partying for carrots.
Yeah.
For carrots. I think someone actually gives us a couple of carrots.
Yeah, there's a few of them. They're kind of dry and not great, runty, but they're still carrots. Yeah.
And then I give the carrots to Warren to feed the babies, for their very hard work and also helping with the parade.
Yeah, I mean, there was lots of bunnies hopping through this parade. I mean, I think there was lots of as cute little bunnies are hopping along. They know how to follow marching band orders really well.
These bunnies have stolen the show.
They honestly and truly have.
I'm sorry, all our characters have been eclipsed by bunnies.
I'm pretty sure I'm carrying one of these bunnies at some point during this parade.
And they need a carrying. It's all you can do. They have little legs.
I, of course, am at the bottom of the well and I'm missing the parade entirely.
Oh, yeah, that's what you missed out. Was definitely. I have an idea for an asking for help scene as well, but since we just did one, if D or
Oh.
Jess, you want to... I have a bit of a more somber one.
Oh, we gotta sandwich that between some other things, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not... Well, it could be. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Heck me up. Do you have any ideas, or are you still contemplating?
I have an idea for a weaving, but it's one of those could be a good button on the session.
Okay,
Sure.
I trust you. All right, if that's the case, yeah, why don't I pick accepting a cost, and let's see, something happens that requires the intervention of someone with your specific role. How do I intervene? I think it should be post parade that started out super awkward and ended in a really good, like, turning the tides of the attitude of Westlake. And my role being the watcher, no shadow is left unnoticed for me. So I see that we were able to turn the tides and uplift some spirits in Westlake, but it wasn't complete. I think Aurora noticed it felt pretty superficial. And the idea that they don't know when the next rain is going to happen is still weighing pretty heavily on some of the older people's minds. And seeking to resolve the situation. Yeah, your control situation unraveling before you. Okay. So I think Aurora would have approached Ye Elder. What was her name? Esther?
Agnes.
Yes.
Agnes. Oh, the old lady Agnes. Yeah.
Does Agnes have a dog? I need to know if Agnes has a dog.
Well, she has a
See, Agnes is more of a
granddaughter.
cat.
Cat? Is she a cat person? Wait, question. Why do you want to know if she's a dog person?
I want to know if she has like a dog. Like you would go up to go and find her, and her dog would like run out to greet you and alert Agnes of your presence. But the dog is just like loud and friendly.
That's my dog for sure. Yeah, so I'm gonna go seek her again. And last time I met her, last and first time, was she's a little crotchety. I didn't know how to handle it. I was trying to be the best dang carrot gem that she could see, and it didn't quite sell with her. So I'm going to drop that facade and come to her in earnest and ask if there is something I can do to resolve the feelings in the land. I don't know if someone wants to play Agnes and feel out the old lady's attitude.
We can do old lady if you want.
Yeah, Aurora's gonna come up to her and be like, you might not recognize me, but I was the carrot in the parade, and I'm really, really, really thankful that you let us host the parade. The show must go on and all that, you know, and it really helped our friend Mouse because Mouse wanted to share Westlake with us. And it's really clear, like, this is a good place, but I know our parade wasn't as good as your parade, and people are feeling a little dark. I want to help.
Well, we can't really do a carrot parade without the carrots, and we can't do the carrots without the water. So I don't know what you can do about the water.
Have you ever had a rain festival?
No, we haven't. Tell us more about this rain festival.
I think back in my town, we gather some gems together and we dance in very specific ways at very specific angles in relation to the sun in order to refract in ways that encourage precipitation to gather right above us. It's a great ritual.
Do you do this on cloudy days?
Well, I mean, no, because then we don't refract.
But the rain comes anyway.
Yes, it's like a precursor.
And you have enough gems that you can gather to do this festival?
Yes and no. We have enough gems to do the festival if you have enough proxy people who have clear things to hold up.
Like glasses and the like.
Exactly. I can teach you the dance.
I will see what I can do. She like turns around and heads back into her house for a moment.
You just see this dancing little gem in front of your yard being like, da, 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 see the lights? It's in my hand.
Dance, ready to party.
You are a dancing gem.
Save me.
We just lost Sid.
I think we lost.
Sid's just like
That's two.
camera drop. Can't do it.
The ABBA reference took him out.
Oh no. Yeah, if they buy it. So full disclosure, Aurora knows no such rituals from Helium.
Fair enough, but you now have an entire town holding up beer glasses and grandma's vases and
Seeing
looking
is
at you
believing.
expectantly.
Yes. And I'm like, Mouse, just go with it, okay? Refractions.
Is Mouse back at her normal size?
She's like halfway, like 75%.
Yeah, so I'm like I mean, you know what? We could probably go through the entire ABBA soundtrack while doing this ritual.
It takes a while.
But yeah,
Like,
everyone's like a little disjointed.
I'm looking for ways to kind of make this whole refraction thing work, and I don't know what time of day it is. So if it's not, is it daytime at this moment?
It can work with the moon. You never know.
Because
The
I'm
moon
going
is
to
strong.
say,
Reflects the light from the sun.
if it were nighttime, I would be running to anywhere that even looks like it remotely has grass, and I would come back with like a single lightning bug.
I accept it. It's now a night ritual. I somehow convinced everyone. We're like, moonlight attracts water.
The moon has control of the oceans. So
that-
we'll be called to the moon.
And you ever notice after the moon goes down, there's water on the ground? It's related.
Oh.
That's Warren's wisdom from their bunnies. The moon does pull on the water.
I love that the bunnies are speaking to us and have chosen Warren as their prophet.
Yeah. Well, they can't speak person, right? So they just,
Yeah, so you see, every brown holding beer bottle is like they're clinking them together, and then the left hand has the green bottles and clinking them together in a circle.
This is some Monty
Do a little
Python
spin.
science. Yeah.
But yeah, we do a moon rain dance ritual. And what else do I need to do? Oh, what went wrong? Someone clearly shattered their circa gem situations here.
Yeah. Did someone get
Many
cut?
of
Did
Grandma's
someone get,
vases
like,
were broken that night.
Oh no. Yeah, I think maybe I don't want to get too gory, but maybe
Is it
someone
just?
nicked. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say like it could be something as simple as it's a night of a full. It's a night of a new moon. There's not a moon out today.
Dang it!
But does that cause things to go wrong, or for a cost to have to be paid? Like, does that mean the thing that goes wrong is that everyone's like that it doesn't work, or that everyone's upset because there's a new moon? Or...
I'm doing the ritual with you.
So
Is that- I'm doing this ritual with you.
if you
Is
want, if you don't, you don't have to.
What if the thing that goes wrong is I run away?
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. I promised grandmama that we had 2 gems, which was the minimum requirement, and halfway through the ritual you're like,
I'm just like, it's not working. I just like, peace.
Well, you must know it's a lie, right? You must know that
Oh,
it's
yeah,
made
yeah.
of. Yeah. This is not a gem thing. Yeah.
okay,
Oh.
this is okay. And everyone's looking at Aurora and being like, this can't be finished without 2 gems. And I'm like, yes,
You said specific 2 gems.
that is indeed what I said. And I think I'm going to take 2 of the bigger vases that people are using. And I'm going to stick my hand into one of them. And I'm going to hold it by the other hand. And I'm going to plunk my hand off. And by the light of the moon, hopes that it grows, because sometimes this happens to gems, that they grow in the light. And I can feel like this one doesn't move, but it is 2 gems in the ritual now.
That's amazing.
2 gems is the cost. 2 gems shall be paid.
Do you give the vase to someone else? Because you need to, you got to dance, and do you want someone else to dance with the part of you?
I will set it on the ground and wait for someone to pick it up.
I think Warren thinks that this is a very precious thing and is worried about getting hurt. And so Warren kind of like grabs onto it with 2 hands, but then the hands just sort of start growing around it, like filling in so that there's no longer fingers. And it's like, there's kind of still arms resembling, but it's just like completely encased in earth so that like the vase can't get harmed, right? Or at least the sides are.
But also it can't get light.
Well, no. That's Warren understands. Warren
It's just
understands.
the sides.
Yeah,
We got
just
the
the
top
sides.
and bottom. It's
the
fine.
top is open, right? But the point is, nothing is gonna like damage this without going through Warren, and they kind of like hold it up and try to do the dance, and they're not any good at it, but
It's okay. It's all an approximation. If we believe hard enough, and Aurora will put their damnedest in terms of enthusiasm into this. I just want them to feel better. But I do recommend that we leave town soon. All
is
right.
that your scene?
I think so. Do I need anything else, Dee?
Don't think so. You wrapped up the scene, so just pass the focus to the next player.
Okay. Here we go, Sean.
All right. So I'm gonna do asking for help. There is a little kid. She's probably 8. Her name's Janny. I think she might be Agnes's granddaughter, or maybe just related. She has something. And Janny, during this thing, everyone's everyone is like, cool, we did the ritual. And I think there's this look of like, is it gonna start raining now? And it's like, no, that it brings the rain, like hopefully the rain will come. And Janny asks Warren why the rain stopped. And Jenny, like a lot of precocious kids, doesn't quite wait for the answer, and Warren is very slow. And so Warren says, sometimes precipitation stops falling in certain places. And so Warren is like trying to say like the reason for drought. And they're like, why did the rain stop? Why did my daddy go away? Why hasn't he come back? And
oh no.
And so Warren is like 4 questions behind and trying to catch up, but they are like drastically unable to keep up with this kid because they just don't talk that fast. And it's becoming increasingly clear that this kid expects, as a traveler and as like someone from the outside, that Warren would know where Janny's dad is and why he hasn't come back and why he left after the rain stopped and all of these things. And so Warren is sort of looking out of their sorts as Janny, I think, keeps peppering them with questions, and really needs someone who can like keep up better. And I think Amaryllis, Warren sort of looks to you kind of a little pathetically, like, help. Let's see, I'm gonna make sure I get this. In seeking this relevant problem, you discover that I don't have the tools. Yeah, I don't know how to talk. Luckily, one of the other characters is close at hand and ready to assist. Misha, are you
Sure.
up for being close at hand and ready to assist? And I think Warren conveys very slowly, like, her father went to get water, but that was 3 weeks ago, and he hasn't come back. Do you know why he's gone? Oh, I realize I'm pulling the Mike Birbiglia voice. That's what Warren is. Like, do you like the slow-mo Mike Birbiglia voice? Do you know? Yeah. And I mean, Warren definitely has ideas. They're not dumb, but they are slow to get to them, and they're slow to articulate them, and they're trying to make Janny feel better, and they don't know how to. So they look to you for advice on this.
So I think Amaryllis is a little okay. Wait. Okay, what did your dad disappeared 3 weeks ago? What did your mom say?
She said he was going to get water, but then he didn't come back. So why isn't he back? Why didn't he get the water? What took him so long? Where did he go? Did he die? Did he get hurt? Did you see him on the road?
I don't know. What did he look like?
He was about yay tall, about this big, had brown hair, was really smart, was really strong, and he had a dimple like this. Then they smile and they have a dimple.
We did not see anyone with a dimple, so maybe he was traveling in the other direction from us.
So what's in the other direction? Are there people there? Are there towns there? Is there water there? Should he have gotten there and back by now?
There are other people in other towns, but they are possibly further than 3 weeks away. I don't know how far this drought spread, sweetheart.
And she looks like she's about ready to completely throw a tantrum because she doesn't have any kind of reassuring answer. And I think, let's see, who resolves this issue? Luckily, with other characters, who do you ask for help and how do they assist you? With their assistance, you resolve the situation easily.
Okay.
I think if you give them time to, Warren realizes that like they have a solution, if that's okay
Yeah,
with
sure,
you.
absolutely.
I feel weird about authoring both my antagonism, like authoring both my challenge and the solution here.
Well, maybe
but
the help that you needed was just somebody to
Space to
stall
breathe,
while you
yeah.
came up
Yeah,
with an
yeah.
answer.
yeah. Warren's like, I'm sure you miss your dad, your father. Would you like to have someone to keep you company? And like hands out Chestnut as I know, I'm sorry, I have to break your heart, Jess. Chestnut doesn't have to stay, but like I'm getting invested here. And like hands like, this is a very good rabbit.
This is a very good girl.
It's a very good bunny. And if you want someone to take care of, then the bunnies need taking care of. They need to, you know,
Yeah, I like, like stroke, stroke the Chestnut's first, like Chestnut's a very fun buddy. She likes carrots, but you can't give her too many. It's very important that you don't give her too many carrots. She has to have some grass and some alfalfa maybe every now and again. And occasionally, and this is a secret, you can't tell anybody, she really likes flowers.
and she speaks to the stars. And Warren just kind of like meanders off, like that's a normal thing to say. If that's that, I love
That's
it. Thank
perfect.
you. Thank you very much for being Warren's like buffers.
Warren's buffer.
When a girl is emotionally
Warren's
distraught, give her a pet.
Hey, look, distraction, it's a thing. It works.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can bring back her. Well, Warren doesn't think they can bring back her dad, but
Look, all we know is he's this tall and this wide, and he has a dimple like this,
yeah,
And he's really smart and really strong.
yeah,
and brown hair.
yep. Cool. That is my scene. Thank you for help, Nisha. Do you want to do the?
Yeah.
You want to do one?
All right. So we haven't done a weaving yet, so I
Yeah.
will pick up the weaving. Something happens that requires the intervention of someone with your specific role. How do you intervene? I think we've been in this town all day and all evening. We've been like trying to lift people's spirits. We dug a well deeper. We didn't get any water from it, but we dug the well deeper. We tried to have a parade. We did a ritual at night that doesn't exist. And I think this is all going through Mouse's head. This is not me, D. This is Mouse is like that. We've done all these things, and it's not helping. It's not fixing the town. Like what we really need is rain. Like this town needs rain. The lake needs to come back. And so she's like standing at the edge of the lake, and she's just like looking out at it, and she's like, come back, like daring the lake to come back. In seeking to resolve the situation, you realize that this problem is beyond your means to solve, and that even help from others won't be enough to get the job done. Then you sense it, a tug in the fabric of the world's memory, inviting you to pull a thread, any thread that might help. What memory calls to you? Is it your memory or the world's? I think Mouse has an inkling of, she sees like the shape of the lake. Like you can see like the lake bed.
Mhm.
And it's like maybe a different shape than what you would see on a map. And the shape looks familiar. And she's like, I don't understand why this shape is familiar. And she pulls out, she's got a map. I don't know. She's got a map. Everyone's got maps. And she's got a map of the city of Ironhold. and she pulls it out and she opens it up and she holds it up in front of her, and she sees that the shape of the lake is exactly the same shape as the body of Ironhold. And she's like, was Ironhold here at some point? Did Ironhold make the lake? And she has this like sudden like moment of like this memory like comes to her, and it's like the world remembering the city of Ironhold like sitting in the ground and then like standing up and dropping just like an entire lake full of water there, and then like walking off and leaving this lake behind it. And I think that's the memory that she has. So leaving leaves you momentarily lost in the memory you're tapped into. Your memories mingling with those of the world, but the place you're in, you can feel the tether fraying, and it takes all your strength to pull yourself out of it, snapping back to yourself with in a burst of dizzying clarity. The weaving manifests. What does the weaving look like? And I think she reaches her hands forward. Like she drops the map and she like reaches her hands forward and she like grabs hold of something. And like anyone looking at her from the outside doesn't see anything in her hands, but like she's like grabbing hold of something and she pulls. And when she pulls, it's like, and it's like the lens shifts focus on the camera of the world, and when it shifts into focus, the lake is there, and it's just back, and it's pristine and crystal clear, and it's full of water.
Beach?
Yeah.
Are we all here?
Okay, everybody saw that, right?
What?
Yeah, it seems like maybe this process took a little bit longer than you expected. So when Mouse went out there, she was alone. But by the time like the camera pans back out, like everyone's standing around watching this.
Yeah.
Does that sound cool?
Yeah, like I imagine that she's been out here for like a while,
Yeah.
like long enough that probably y'all would have come and tried to come and find me. And yeah, so when your mind clears, everyone around you is staring. Maybe this is their first time seeing a weaving. Maybe they can see how close the weaving was to disaster. Maybe it's their first time seeing one that didn't destroy a town. So yeah, what do you guys think about what just happened?
That is very impressive.
I think Warren is standing in it like ankle deep in the water, and you can kind of see like their body starting to, gain a little bit of coloration. Like it's not quite as dried out, and you can start seeing like the water is like absorbing up through them, like as though they have roots, and they're sort of using coloration. And one of the bunnies comes and like whispers in their ear, and they say, "This is very good water from this is water from a long time ago." And I think there's something special about this water. It wasn't the water that was here before. It's come from another time. And it's it's got some sort of rarefied properties to it.
I think a fish jumps out of the water.
Yeah, I love it. It's a fish that has never been seen here before.
Yeah.
Or not in a very long time.
Yeah, or not in a very long time. Not in recorded history.
Yeah.
I've never seen this. When people do that, it's always to break things down. It doesn't. It's never. Oh wow! You literally just created water or dragged water. Whoa! That requires a lot of thought and heart and concentration. It was so late. Are you okay, Mouse?
I would be looking at Mouse's facial expressions at this moment.
I think she's just like tears are just like streaming down her face. And I think in a lot of ways they're not her own tears. And I think like it takes her a minute to like come out of the memory that she had. Because I think the memory that she was experiencing was of the city of Ironhold, knowing that it had to leave where it was. And so the thing that it left behind was the lake, but it also had to leave behind its home. And so it's like, it's a hard memory to come out of. And I think she just like falls to her knees and just like collapses on the ground.
How does Mouse feel about hugs?
I think she's okay with hugs.
Mouse would definitely be on the receiving end of a hug.
There would be lots of hugs. Also some tissues, or the equivalent of tissues.
I think just like a little bit of like earth mound, like Lauren is like 10 feet away, but like a little like earth mound kind of comes up and like laps on Mouse's knee.
I think she says like, thank you. Aurora, what happened to your hand?
It's fine. It was part of the ritual.
What ritual? You made it up.
They had to believe it.
Is it gonna grow back?
I think so.
Lauren
Probably,
is still
right?
protectively holding that vase with it in case you want it back.
Yeah, I mean, we regrow with the right minerals and stuff. It's fine.
So we have to go to a spa with mineral baths or something?
I mean, now we got a lake.
We've got
so
water.
We're gonna go swimming.
Good plan. I could maybe get like some of that mud out of my armpit because it's starting to get a little itchy.
Yeah.
Hit mud.
I say let's go for a swim. And I think Mouse is like, yeah, let's do something fun. Let's like let's enjoy our time here. And I think.
And our splashing and frolicking will wake up the children, and they'll realize that Christmas came early.
Carrotmas.
Carrotmas is saved after all.
Yay.
How well do your buddies swim?
How well do the bunnies swim? Oh, I don't think they swim. I think they.
Because I think Warren would just be like out like on his back like this, letting the buddies like be in the lake and using him as a giant pool floaty.
Yeah. I was gonna say I feel like Warren is like right at the edge. They're not going too far deep into it. And yeah, the bunnies are kind of like poking their noses out into the water and like drinking water and like doing that cute little bunny exploration thing and like running
Yeah,
around.
one of them please have us like in water. Several of them have sailor hats.
They do now.
They do now. I mean, we didn't see it before, but now like they go into Warren, they come back out, and they have a cute little sailor hat
And little floaties.
and little floaties.
Oh no! Oh no!
Again,
that's-
Bunnies
that's-
have taken over the episode. Sorry.
You know something?
it.
Honestly, that's my fault. I just should have not mentioned it, but here we are.
It's great.
We needed a distraction, a wholesome distraction.
Yes, we were trying to keep from crying, so we switched focus. Much like we do with small children, distraction.
Well, we're just about at time. Dee, is there a wrap up? I see a section called wrapping up.
There is, yeah. So if you're following a story arc, discuss how the scenes you played out fit within the context of that story and find a resolving moment to describe that lays the groundwork for the next session into the gray. I think we've kind of done that here. We've given everybody like a chance to like, yay, we saved the town.
Yay.
Kind of moment.
Yeah.
Into the Gray deals with like what happens next and like kind of rebuilding things and helping people get things set up now that the drought is over.
Cool.
If you're not following a story arc, this might be a good time to talk about whether or not you want to use one. But either way, find a satisfying moment to describe that resolves the events of the first session and thank each other for the experience.
Well, thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks. This was fun.
This is great.
Glad we got to do this. This was nifty.
Yeah, it was the kind of the right balance between feels and a little bit of silliness to like keep you from getting too deep into the feels.
Well, let's do our outros and say goodnight to folks. I'm Sean. I use he, him pronouns. I had a blast playing this. This is great. I'm excited. We're gonna play it again. We're gonna play it again next week, next Wednesday, and the following after. This is a week of lots of actual play. Tomorrow we'll be playing Stars Without Number. Friday we'll be playing Burning Wheel. Saturday there's Thief and the Necromancer, and then Sunday we have a double feature of Balak Bion and Scum and Villainy. So all kinds of good stuff on the channel, and I'm excited to play in several of those. So should be good stuff. How about you, Misha?
I'm Misha B. She, her. You can find me on Twitter as BG Gameworks, and my website is blackgirlgameworks.com. This is my week of finishing up stuff. I'm like trying to furiously clear off my plate because my children will be here full time for schooling and stuff. And yeah, that's like panic mode. But it'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll get through this. It'll be okay. So, Jess.
It'll be okay. Hi, I'm Jess, they, them pronouns. I go by Burst of Hope on Twitter. I am a co-admin and producer of Utopia, a Twitch channel for POC by POC. And you can find me there tomorrow at 9 p.m. EDT. I will be interviewing the Fung Fu Pai, who plays in the Dicey Amazons, and also amazing POC cast who plays D&D and other things. And we'll be talking about what the Dicey Amazons are up to because they got a lot of new plans, and I'm really excited.
Sweet. Put a link in chat.
Yes.
How about you, Sin?
So, hi, my name is Sinziak. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Sinziak Beta if you want to find me there, or you can find me around here on Twitch. And you're probably also going to see me hanging out around here because I heard the word scum and villainy.
Oh yeah, Sunday morning. Come on.
Sunday morning. Making notes.
Cool. How about you, Dee?
I'm D. My pronouns are they, them. I am writing this game with help from Sinziak and a bunch of other people. It's a really cool team. We're launching a Kickstarter 10 days from now, August 15th. Be ready with your retweets and your dollars, whatever. I'm really excited. I'm also really excited to play the next session with this group. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You can find me on Twitter at dpennyway. I'll put my handle in the chat. dpennyway. You can also find my games at mnemonicrpg.itch.io. And yeah, I think that's everything for me. Thank you. This was wonderful.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Come back and join us next time. See y'all soon.